everyone, and welcome back to another screen. Guys, we've got a special guest today, which is my son in the background tapping away on his Xbox. So if you can hear lots of keys tapping away, it's not me working. It wouldn't be me working. It's him tapping away, trying to beat everyone on Fortnite. But this PowerPoint, or screencast, shall I say, is on area and on formulas that we need to work out the area of different shapes. It's really easy peasy, lemon squeezy, that's for sure. So what is area? It's the amount of floor space you find inside a shape. Okay, really simple. We're going to need to know the names of these shapes. I'm not going to go through them just yet, but those are all of the different shapes, and we're going to know all the formulas to find out the area of those shapes as well. So first up, we're going to go over the easiest one of all. Just remember, it's all about memory. There's no, I hate to, people think about maths in here. There's no innate maths ability needed. It just means that you need to do it enough times to remember them, and that's really important. Okay, so here we go. The first shape up is a square. The formula for all of these shapes on the slide is area equals base times height. All right, so the next one is a rectangle, and the last one is a parallelogram. Now it's base times height. Can we see that? Base times height. Base times height. Now this is the only one, and they sometimes make it a little bit more difficult because what they do is they go base times height, and it's not this length here. And that's what sometimes catches people out. So it's base times the height. Think of the height on all of these shapes as the distance from the floor to the top of the shape. Okay, that is really, really key as we go through. So really simple, copy out these shapes, write down area is base times height, and make sure on that parallelogram, that's the top tip to make sure you know what the height is there. All right, so here goes some more shapes for you. This one is a trapezium. This is a quite tricky one. This is possibly the trickiest one of all because this formula is area equals A plus B divided by 2 timesing by H. But once you know what they all are, then you're going to be fine. So that's A, that's B. So we add those together, divide them by 2, and times them by the height. Remember what the height is? It's not the length of the side, and sometimes they put that in just to throw you off. Just remember that. Okay, so this is A, this is B, okay, and this is the height here. Hopefully that helps you. Copy that out, draw out the shape, remember. All right, next up, and these are the last slides. So we've got a triangle. And the formula for this one is area is base times height divided by 2. And the reason for that is base times height divided by 2 is because if we had 2 of these next to each other, you'd find that you'd either have a parallelogram, or in this case, you'd have either a rectangle or a square. And that's why it's base times height halved, because it's half a square or half a rectangle if we think about it in its simplest form. The last one we've got is a circle. This one is area is pi, and if you don't know what pi is, it's a little button on your calculator, and it's actually 3.14, so forth and so on. All right, but it's pi times r squared, r being the radius. The radius is half the diameter, so this is the radius, all right, which is from the central point to the edge of the circle. Okay, area equals pi times r squared. All right, r squared, that's real key. And that's it. It's time for the quiz now. So name each shape and write down the formula to find each of the areas. So here we go. Here goes all the shapes. You're going to pause the video. You're going to name them. You write down the formulas for each of them, and then come back and see if you've got them correct. Okay, now it's time to see if you've got them correct. Here we go. So the first one was a square. Its area is base times height. The second one was a trapezium. Area equals A plus B divided by 2, timesing by H. The next one, parallelogram. Area is base times height. Circle, area is pi times r squared. Rectangle is area equals base times height. And last one is basically, again, if I put another triangle here, then I would have a parallelogram. Okay. And ours would be area equals base times height divided by 2. All right. So there we go. It really was as simple as that. Please make sure you've done some good notes. Please make sure you do a revision card if you possibly can. And really, that is it. I'm sure you've absolutely smashed it. It hasn't taken very long. It's been a real fast one, which I'm sure you're absolutely gutted about. But until next time, it's been an absolute pleasure helping you with your maths. Enjoy the rest of your day or evening.